The signal from the void. The rhythmic hum of the bridge consoles provided a soothing backdrop as Captain Nikolai Volkov gazed at the vast starfield through the main view screen. His weathered face, marked by 20 years in Earth's United Space Command, remained composed despite the unexpected alert flashing on his terminal. "Captain, we're picking up something unusual," Lieutenant Rajiv Mehta called from the communications station, his normally calm voice tinged with excitement. "It's a distress signal, sir, but not human." Volkov crossed the bridge in 3 long strides. "Show me." The main screen shifted to display a visual transmission. A being with luminescent purple skin and 6 eyes appeared, surrounded by sparking circuits and billowing smoke. The alien's ship was clearly in distress. "This is Envoy Trillium of the Celesti Diplomatic Corps," the alien's melodic voice translated through the ship's computer. "Our vessel is under attack by unknown hostiles. Engines failing, life support critically damaged. If anyone receives this message, we implore your assistance. Coordinates follow." The transmission ended abruptly with a burst of static. Volkov turned to his first officer, Commander Olivia Winters. Analysis. Winters consulted her data pad. The Celesti are known for their diplomatic missions. They've maintained peaceful relations with most spacefaring species for millennia. They're one of the few who didn't object to humanity joining the Galactic Conquered. "And why would they call us?" asked Security Chief Victor Zhao, his scarred face reflecting his suspicion. "Humanity has barely had interstellar capability for 30 years. There are dozens of more established species they could contact." The question hung in the recycled air of the bridge. Earth's position in galactic politics remained precarious at best. Most alien civilizations viewed humans with a mixture of fear and distrust, creatures evolved on a high-gravity death world with extreme climate variations and persistent apex predators. "Perhaps they had no choice," suggested Dr. Alara Patel, the ship's xenobiologist. "The signal pattern indicates it was broadcast on all emergency channels. Anyone in range would receive it." Volkov nodded thoughtfully. "Or perhaps they understand that sometimes when you're hunted, you need a hunter on your side." The decision made, Volkov opened a secure channel to Earth Command. General Hector Martinez's stern face appeared on screen. "Captain Volkov, I assume this is about the alien distress call we just received at headquarters." "Yes, General, the horizon is closest to the coordinates. I recommend we respond with a rescue operation." Martinez frowned. "The diplomatic corps is concerned about potential entanglements. We're still walking on eggshells with half the conquered species." "With respect, sir," Volkov countered, "this is precisely the opportunity we need. If we respond to this call, if we save lives when others won't, it changes the narrative about humanity." The general was silent for a long moment. "Very well, Captain, assemble a response fleet. The destroyers Thermopylae and Shackleton are within supporting range. The medical vessel Nightingale can rendezvous with you at the jump point." "But Volkov," Martinez's voice hardened, "this is a rescue mission only. If the situation becomes complicated, you are to extract immediately." "Understood, General, horizon out." 4 hours later, Volkov addressed the assembled crews of his small fleet. The rescue mission had been approved, but with clear diplomatic restrictions. Humanity couldn't afford any misunderstandings that might lead to conflict. "Men and women of Earth," he began, his voice resonating through the communication system, "we've received a distress call from the Celesti, a civilization known for fostering peace throughout the galaxy. We don't know what awaits us at those coordinates, but we know our purpose." He paused, his gray eyes focused on the camera. "The galaxy has called us dangerous. They've called us unpredictable. Today we show them something else, that when others cry for help, humans answer. Prepare for dimensional jump in 20 minutes. As the transmission ended, Commander Winters approached him on the bridge. "What do you really think we'll find out there, Nikolai?" Volkov checked the charge on his sidearm, a habit from his days in the Earth-Mars conflicts. "I don't know, Olivia, but whatever it is, they'll learn that calling humans was either their smartest move or their fatal mistake." The massive engines of the human fleet surged as they entered the dimensional slip that would carry them across light years of space. On the Horizon's bridge, Lieutenant Mehta monitored communications, while Navigator Tomas Rodriguez maintained their trajectory. "All systems operating within parameters, Captain," Rodriguez reported. "We should reach the Celesti coordinates in approximately 36 hours. "Keep all sensors at maximum sensitivity," Volkov ordered. We're heading into unknown territory. In his quarters that night, Volkov reviewed historical footage of humanity's first official contact with alien life. The images showed nervous human representatives standing before tall, graceful beings with crystalline features, the Aldebarans. Your species should not have achieved sentience under such conditions, the Aldebarans had declared. The crushing gravity, the atmospheric toxins, the evolutionary pressure of constant predation, Earth is categorized as a Class 5 death world. Your people are concerning. Since that day, humanity had struggled to prove they were more than just dangerous animals from a hostile planet. This rescue mission could reshape perceptions or confirm the galaxy's worst fears. In the Horizon's science bay, Dr. Patel and her assistant, Dr. Julian Feng, scrutinized the Celesti distress signal with growing unease. "Something isn't right," Patel murmured, gesturing at her analysis screen. "I've deconstructed the signal pattern. This segment here, it doesn't align with standard Celesti communication protocols." Feng studied the display. Could the signal have been corrupted by whatever attacked them? Possibly, Patel said, unconvinced. But look at this distortion pattern, it's too symmetrical. Actual damage creates random disruptions, this looks designed. Their eyes met, the implication clear. "You think the signal is fabricated?" Feng asked quietly. "I think we need to be extremely cautious," Patel replied, activating her comm badge. "Patel to Captain Volkov, I need to discuss something urgent with you in the science bay." That evening, crew members gathered in the recreation hall, tension visible in their postures despite attempts at normal interaction. Rodriguez had brought his antique guitar, playing soft earth melodies that reminded everyone of home. Commander Winters moved among the groups, offering reassurance where needed. These were Earth's finest, resilient, innovative, and adaptable, but even they felt the weight of uncertainty ahead. Commander Junior Officer Lin Chen asked softly, "What if this is a trap?" The room fell silent as everyone confronted the thought they'd been avoiding. Winters didn't hesitate. "Then we'll do what humans have always done when cornered. We'll adapt, we'll fight, and we'll prevail." Her confidence spread through the room like a wave. Humans might be feared as Deathworlders, but that fear came with grudging respect. No species in the known galaxy possessed their tenacious will to overcome. On the second day of transit, Volkov gathered his senior staff in the tactical center. Dr. Patel presented her findings about the distress signal's anomalies, and security protocols were heightened across the fleet. "We proceed as planned," Volkov decided, "but at maximum alert status. All ships will maintain battle readiness from the moment we exit dimensional space." 36 hours after departure, the fleet emerged at the edge of the target system. Volkov ordered all vessels to maintain position while automated probes were launched to scout ahead. Volkov, Winters, Patel, and Zhao gathered around the tactical display as the first data streamed back. "My God," whispered Winters. The holographic projection showed a fierce battle. Sleek crystalline ships matching the Celesti vessels were under attack by ominous black craft that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "I've never seen that hostile species before," said Patel, indicating the black ships. Feng was analyzing the sensor readings, his expression growing increasingly troubled. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy patterns within this engagement. It's almost as if they're not genuinely fighting." "Explain," Volkov demanded. "The weapons are discharging, but the damage patterns are inconsistent with actual combat. It resembles a performance more than warfare." Volkov's eyes narrowed as he made his decision. "Chief Zhao, prepare all ships for potential combat. We're going to investigate, but with extreme caution. Something feels wrong, and I want to understand what before we fully commit." The human fleet advanced slowly toward the conflict zone, weapons powered but not yet targeting. Volkov stood on the bridge of the horizon, his posture betraying nothing of his inner suspicion. "Open communications on all standard frequencies," he ordered. Lieutenant Maida nodded. "Broadcasting, attention vessels in conflict. This is Captain Nikolai Volkov of the Earth vessel Horizon. We received your distress signal and offer assistance. Please respond." The message repeated 3 times while the bridge crew waited in tense silence. "No response from either party, Captain," Maida reported. "Move us closer but maintain maximum shield strength," Volkov commanded. As the fleet approached, they gained a clearer view of the engagement. The crystalline Celesti ships moved with unexpected precision, while the black vessels attacked with calculated intensity. Those black ships, Patel said, studying her readouts, they're unlike anything in our database. The material seems to absorb scanner beams rather than reflect them. Without warning, both the Celesti and the black ships ceased fire. All vessels pivoted toward the human fleet. "Captain," Rodriguez shouted from the navigation console. "Both sides have locked weapons on us." Before Volkov could respond, the black ships fired first. Brilliant energy beams sliced through space and crashed against the horizon's shields. "Shields at 78% capacity," reported Chief Engineer Han Sung from Engineering. "They won't withstand prolonged bombardment." "Return fire," Volkov commanded. "Target the lead black vessel." The Horizon's main cannons unleashed a barrage of concentrated energy. The shot connected directly, but the black ship appeared to absorb much of the blast without significant damage. "Captain, the Celesti ships are moving," called Rodriguez. They're attacking our medical vessel." Volkov's face registered shock before hardening into determination. This made no sense. Why would the ships they came to help now turn against them? "All ships implement evasive pattern delta," he ordered. "Fire only when you have confirmed targeting solutions." Space around them erupted into chaos. The human vessels, designed for durability rather than maneuverability, sustained significant damage. Commander Winter's tactical expertise kept the Horizon from the worst attacks, but their position was rapidly deteriorating. "Captain," Winter said, her voice tight with urgency, "we can't maintain this engagement without understanding what we're facing." Volkov nodded grimly. "Order the fleet to fall back to position Omega. We need to regroup and reassess." As the human ships withdrew, the Celesti and black vessels did not pursue. Instead, they maintained formation, as if waiting for something more. In the damaged intelligence center of the Horizon, Lieutenant Maida analyzed data collected during the brief engagement. "This doesn't make sense," he muttered, reviewing the footage. "Look at these patterns." He summoned Volkov and Winters to view his findings. The Celesti and these black ships, which I believe are called Void Harbingers based on fragmentary records, they weren't genuinely fighting when we arrived. They were performing a choreographed sequence. "A trap," Volkov stated, his voice low with controlled anger. Maida nodded, and evidently not there first. "Observe this." He displayed images of ship debris scattered throughout a remote sector of the system. These fragments belong to at least 5 different species, all bearing damage signatures consistent with what we just experienced. Winter's expression darkened. "They broadcast false distress calls, then ambush whoever responds. But why? What's their objective?" Before anyone could speculate further, Rodriguez's voice came through the communication system. "Captain, during our tactical withdrawal, we captured an escape pod from one of the Void Harbinger vessels. The occupant is secured in Detention Bay 4. Volkov and Winters exchanged meaningful glances. "Perhaps," Volkov said, rising from his seat, "we're about to get some answers." Deathworlders unleashed. The secure detention bay was clinically bright and uncomfortably cold. Captain Nikolai Volkov and Commander Olivia Winters stood facing the captured Void Harbinger pilot. The alien was tall and unnaturally thin, with skin so dark it seemed to absorb the light around it. Its eyes were large obsidian orbs showing no discernible emotion. "I am Captain Volkov of the United Earth Space Command," Volkov began, his voice firm but controlled. "You attacked my ships without provocation. I want to know why." The alien tilted its elongated head, studying the humans with detached curiosity. When it spoke, its voice sounded like metal scraping against stone, the ship's translator struggling to convert the alien phonetics. "You responded quickly, Deathworlders, more quickly than the others." "The others?" Winters asked. "You mean the other ships you've destroyed after luring them with fake distress calls?" The alien's mouth stretched into what might have been a smile. "You are more perceptive than most. Yes, many came before you, all now gone." Dr. Patel entered the detention bay, holding a data tablet. "Our scans of their vessel show technology from at least 8 different species, technology that doesn't match their own developmental level." "Nothing belongs to anyone," the alien replied with disturbing calm. "The strong acquire, the weak lose. This is the natural order." Volkov placed his hands on the interrogation table, leaning forward. "And the Celesti, I thought they were victims, but they're working with you, aren't they?" The alien made a sound like dry branches breaking, apparently laughter. The Celesti are our partners for many cycles. They appear peaceful and diplomatic, makes the deception more effective. Winters felt a chill run down her spine. How many ships have you taken this way? Hundreds, the alien said without hesitation, from all sectors of the galaxy. Why target humanity specifically? Volkov demanded. Earth is still new to interstellar travel. Our technology isn't the most advanced. The alien's black eyes seemed to deepen. But it is different. Earth vessels use unique gravitational manipulation systems. Celesti scientists are very interested, and Deathworlders make exceptional combat specimens if they can be controlled. The implications hung in the recycled air. They weren't just targets for their ships. These aliens intended to study and exploit humans themselves. There's more, Dr. Feng reported, entering with new sensor data. The Void Harbinger fleet is regrouping near the system's outer planets, and additional Celesti vessels are arriving. Their combined force now outnumbers us 5-1. Volkov straightened, his decision made. Return the prisoner to detention, then meet me in the command center. It's time we showed these aliens why Deathworlders are not to be hunted. An hour later, the leaders of the human fleet gathered around the tactical holotable. The three-dimensional display showed the positions of all known enemy vessels. We're significantly outnumbered, Chief Engineer Han observed, and their technology remains partially unknown. But now we understand their game, Volkov replied. They expect us to retreat or surrender. They don't know humans well. Dr. Patel stepped forward. I've analyzed their shield technology. It's designed to absorb energy weapons but shows vulnerability to kinetic impacts, physical projectiles like our railgun systems. Winters nodded, a small smile forming. Most advanced species abandoned primitive kinetic weapons centuries ago. They wouldn't expect us to still use them. Exactly, Volkov agreed. And I've sent an encrypted message back to Earth. The experimental battlecruiser Sovereign is being dispatched as reinforcement. It will arrive in 17 hours. Rodriguez looked concerned. Can we hold out that long against their numbers? We won't just hold out, Volkov said firmly. We're taking the fight to them. Commander Winters has developed a tactical plan. Winters activated a detailed simulation on the holotable. The Celesti and Void Harbingers think they're the predators. It's time to show them what happens when you corner a species that evolved on a death world. As the human officers finalized their counterattack strategy, the captured Void Harbinger sat alone in its cell. For the first time in its extended lifespan, it felt something new, a creeping sense of doubt about the wisdom of having provoked these strange, determined creatures from Earth. The damaged human ships drifted silently in the shadow of a massive ice moon. On the horizon's bridge, Captain Volkov studied the holographic display showing enemy movements, his face carved from stone. Their search pattern is predictable, he observed, pointing to the routes the enemy vessels followed. They believe we're fleeing in panic. Winters nodded. Good, let them think that. The past 8 hours had been spent repairing critical systems and preparing for what came next. The humans had been forced to retreat but not defeated. Now they would show the galaxy why Earth species were feared. Is everyone clear on the plan? Volkov asked, surveying his officers. Dr. Patel spoke first. Team Alpha will use our stealth shuttles to infiltrate the Celesti command vessel. With their attention on finding our main fleet, their internal security should be minimal. Team Beta will position our remaining fighters here and here, Chief Zhao continued, highlighting locations within the Ice Moon's debris field. We'll use the natural cover to strike their supply lines. Engineer Han stepped forward. She hadn't slept in nearly 30 hours, but determination fueled her movements. I've modified our weapons based on what we learned from the prisoner. Their shields absorb energy, so I've reconfigured our railguns to fire specialized rounds. She held up a small metal cylinder. These appear simple but contain complex mechanism. When they impact the enemy shields, they'll create frequency disruptions that should generate weak points. Volkov nodded in approval, and the Sovereign. 12 hours out, Winters replied. We need to hold until then. Then we move now, Volkov decided. Commander Winters, you'll lead the infiltration team. I'll coordinate fleet actions from here. As the officers dispersed to prepare, Volkov stopped Winters with a hand on her shoulder. This plan depends on enemies underestimating humans. Use that to your advantage. Winters' lips curved into a determined smile. They think we're just animals from a harsh world. Time to show them that makes us dangerous, not primitive. 3 hours later, Winter's small team drifted silently toward the massive Celesti command vessel. Their shuttle had been modified to mask its energy signature, making it nearly invisible to advanced sensors. Approaching entry point, whispered Lieutenant Meta, piloting the craft. Their outer bay doors are opening to launch interceptors. We can slip in during the launch sequence. Winters checked her kinetic pistol, a weapon that used compressed air to fire small metal projectiles instead of energy beams. Remember, we move fast and quiet. Our objective is their communication center. Once there, we can disrupt their coordination with the Void Harbingers. The shuttle slipped into the massive hangar bay just as Celesti fighters launched. No alarms sounded, they had infiltrated successfully. Meanwhile, in the Ice Moon's debris field, the human combat ships took position. Engineer Hand's modified weapons were loaded and ready. Chief Zhao, commanding this part of the operation, watched the enemy patrol ships approaching. Hold position, he ordered. Wait until they're fully in the kill zone. The enemy vessels moved closer, unaware of the trap. When they reached the center of the debris field, Zhao gave the command. All ships opened fire. The modified railguns launched their special rounds. When they struck the enemy shields, instead of being absorbed, they created rippling disruptions. The follow-up shots tore through these weakened areas, causing catastrophic damage. It's working, shouted a weapons officer. Their shields are failing. Zhao allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction before refocusing. Press the attack, don't give them time to adapt. Back on the horizon, Captain Volkov monitored both operations. Reports came in of successful strikes against the enemy supply ships, while Winter's team had penetrated deep into the Celesti command vessel. Volkov opened a channel to all human ships. This is Captain Volkov. The tide is turning. In 9 hours, the Sovereign will arrive with reinforcements. Until then, show these aliens why humanity's reputation is well-earned. Volkov out. As he closed the channel, Volkov studied the tactical display. For the first time since arriving in this system, he allowed himself to believe they might survive this encounter. Aboard the Celesti command ship, Winter's team moved through shadowy corridors, avoiding detection. The alien vessel's interior was beautiful but unsettling. Organic curves merged with crystalline technology in ways that defied human engineering principles. Communication center should be 2 levels up, Maida whispered, consulting his scanner. Light security, they still don't know we're here. As they approached a junction, voices echoed from around the corner. Winters signaled her team to halt and flatten against the wall. 2 Celesti officers walked past, their melodic voices discussing battle plans. Once clear, the team proceeded to an access shaft. This will take us directly above the communication center, Winters said. Remember, non-lethal tactics if possible. We need prisoners for intelligence. Minutes later, they dropped silently into the Celesti communication hub. The 6 alien operators were so focused on their consoles, they didn't notice the intruders until Winter's team had already secured the room. Download everything, Winters ordered Maida, and set the disruption charges. While Maida worked, Winters interrogated the senior Celesti officer. Why target Earth ships? What do you want with humans? The alien's 6 eyes blinked rapidly in what might have been fear. Your species is unique. You evolved on a world that should not support intelligence. Your biological adaptations, your psychological resilience, they are valuable research subjects. Research, Winters pressed, or weapons? The Celesti hesitated before answering. Both. The conquered grows complacent. The Void Harbingers believe Deathworlders like you can be weaponized, controlled, and directed against our enemies. Winter's expression hardened. You picked the wrong species to try to control. Meanwhile, the Sovereign emerged from dimensional space at the edge of the system. The experimental battlecruiser dwarfed the other human vessels, its sleek hull bristling with advanced weaponry. Captain Volkov's voice was steady as he addressed the combined fleet. All ships, this is Captain Volkov. Today we end this threat. The Celesti and Void Harbingers thought us easy prey. They will learn how wrong they were. On the main tactical display, the enemy forces appeared as red indicators, still scattered from the earlier human attacks. Commander Winter's infiltration team had successfully disrupted the Celesti command ship's communication systems, causing confusion among the enemy fleet. Battle groups form up, Volkov ordered. Execute attack pattern Epsilon. The human ship split into three formations. The main force, led by the Sovereign, would engage the enemy head-on. The second group would attack from below, targeting their supply ships. The third, smallest group led by Chief Zhao would circle around to cut off any retreat. As the human fleet advanced, the enemy ships struggled to organize a coherent defense. The Void Harbinger vessels formed a protective screen around the damaged Celesti command ship. "They're adapting to our tactics," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, enemy vessels powering weapons systems. Volkov nodded calmly. As expected, deploy engineer hands shield disruptors. Small drones launched from the human ships, each carrying hands specialized technology. They raced ahead of the fleet, targeting the enemy formation. Disruptors active in 3, 2, 1. A wave of energy pulsed across space. The enemy shields flickered, weakened by carefully calculated frequency interference. "All ships open fire," Volkov commanded. The space between the fleets erupted with weapons fire. The human vessels, though outnumbered, struck with devastating precision. The Sovereign's main cannons tore through the largest Void Harbinger ship, rupturing its power core. On the bridge of the horizon, Volkov received a transmission from Winters. "Infiltration successful, Captain. We've downloaded their battle plans and sabotaged their internal systems. Returning to extraction point." "Well done, Commander. We'll cover your withdrawal." The battle raged for 2 more hours, the tactical advantage shifting back and forth. The Celesti and Void Harbingers fought with growing desperation as they realized their prey had become predators. The turning point came when Winter's team returned with crucial intelligence. The Celesti ships had a critical design flaw. Their propulsion systems were vulnerable to precise strikes at specific junctions. "Target these coordinates," Volkov ordered, transmitting the data to all ships. Concentrated fire. The human fleet executed the new tactic with ruthless efficiency. One by one, the Celesti vessels lost maneuverability, becoming easy targets for follow-up strikes. The Void Harbingers, seeing their allies faltering, attempted to retreat, but found their escape routes blocked by Chief Zhao's interceptors. "Their flagship is hailing us," Maida reported from communications. "On screen," Volkov ordered. The main display showed a Void Harbinger commander, its dark features twisted in what might have been rage or fear. "Enough, humans, we offer terms." Volkov's expression remained impassive. "You attacked without provocation. You intended to capture and experiment on my people. What terms could you possibly offer?" "Survival," the alien replied, "yours and ours." Volkov exchanged glances with Winters, who had returned to the bridge. "Stand down all weapons, recall your remaining ships, prepare to be boarded." 4 hours later, representatives from both enemy factions stood in the Horizon's conference room under heavy guard. The terms of surrender were non-negotiable. All stolen technology would be returned, all captured vessels released, and detailed information about previous victims provided. "You will also face judgment from the Galactic Conquered," Volkov stated. "Your deception and piracy ends today." The senior Celesti diplomat's crystalline features showed no emotion. "You have won this battle, humans. But consider this, you have now revealed yourselves to the galaxy at large. Many will fear you more than before." Volkov smiled without humor. "Good, perhaps that fear will inspire others to think twice before treating humans as prey. We came here to answer a distress call to help. Remember that before you spread tales of human aggression." 1 month later, Captain Volkov stood before the Earth Defense Council, delivering his final report on what had become known as the Celesti Incident. "The Galactic Conquered has officially censured both the Celesti Diplomatic Corps and the Void Harbingers," he concluded. "Reparations are being made to the families of those lost to their previous attacks. More importantly, humanity's response has changed our standing in interstellar politics." "For better or worse?" asked Council Chairwoman Helena Diaz. "Both," Volkov replied honestly. "We are more feared, certainly, but also more respected. The Aldebarans have formally requested joint military exercises. The Proxima Collective has reopened trade negotiations, and 3 previously hostile species have sued for peace." "And the Deathworlder label?" another counselor asked. "Still used," Volkov said with a slight smile, "but the connotation is changing. We're no longer seen as dangerous animals from a harsh planet. We're recognized as something more complex beings who will answer distress calls even at great personal risk, who will fight ferociously when threatened, but who offer mercy when victory is achieved. As the council chambers emptied, Commander Winters joined Volkov by the large viewport overlooking Earth. New orders came through, she said. The horizon is being refitted with enhanced weaponry and shields. We're being sent to patrol the border regions, areas where our new reputation might be needed. Volkov nodded, gazing at the blue planet below. The galaxy has misunderstood us for too long, Olivia. They saw our evolutionary history as making us dangerous and unpredictable. They weren't entirely wrong, Winters observed. No, Volkov agreed with a small smile. But they missed the most important part. What makes humans dangerous isn't just our physical adaptations or our capacity for violence. It's our complexity, our ability to be both predator and protector, both warrior and healer. He turned from the viewport, determination in his eyes. The galaxy wanted simple Deathworlders they could study or fear from a distance. Instead, they got humanity in all its complicated glory. They'll have to adapt to us now. As they walked toward the shuttle bay where the newly promoted Admiral Martinez waited to discuss their next mission, both officers knew that humanity's place in the stars had forever changed. The Deathworlders had arrived on the galactic stage, not as specimens to be studied or weapons to be used, but as a force that would shape the future of interstellar civilization on their own terms.